And I am going to have you guys do what I feel a fairly simple assignment today. That you will complete percentages using bar graphs. It's fairly simple, but it gets a little bit more complicated while we go down the road. So the first thing that you do is go to your Google Classroom and scroll down, and we're going to go and do this. So we're using bar graphs with the numbers that are a quantity of 0. So we have the percentages of 100. So you'll do 1 through 20. There's going to be 20 problems today. Okay. Now the next part is that we have 20 bar lines. Now you can either print this off. I have copies. Or you can, and see if you see all the way down, it has 20 lines. Each problem has its own set. So you can print it off, or you can find paint and figure out what you want to do. So the first problem is going to be 23. Okay, so we're going to have 23. I'm sorry, I apologize each time. Now, what we did, first thing that we did on each of these is that we folded the paper in half. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and redo that because I'm going to try to pull this up so that I get a full screen for you guys. Okay? Just give me 2 seconds, please. Okay. So a couple things. I'm going to go backtrack so I got a little bit better screen for you. So the first thing that we did with each of these is that we wrote down here. Now I have to use a fat pen. I apologize. 0 through, I'm going to put this down here, 100. All right. And I did that with each of these because we're dealing with the magic number 100. So then I take this, and what we did next is we started folding in half so that we could see the quantity, if it's less than 50, greater than 50%, 100%. So I folded it in half. And then I folded it in half again. And then I folded it in half again. Sorry for the screaming in the background. It's a student's child, so now those aren't perfect. I'm going to move them just a little bit because I think that's about 50 there. Now, if you notice that we have 4 portions, 1, 2, 3, 4. We drew 3 lines to get 4 portions because we have a beginning and an end. So the first thing is that this is definitely 50%. So there's 50%. So no matter what, that's down the middle. If you have 6, 50% of 3. It's 50% of 3, 1.5. So there's always going to be a half quantity for everything. Might not be pretty, but there's always going to be a half quantity. So what goes next is that I tell the kids that we have 4 portions. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next portion is 25, because half of 50 is 25. And then the other one, half of, in between 50 and 75, or and 100 is 75. I think of the quantity of zeros, or of quarters. 25, 50, 75 cents, correct? Alrighty. So, again, I think that this is a fairly simple assignment. I also had students and went ahead, but I just thought that was a little too difficult of what I was trying to convey, is that we went ahead and divided it by tens, and it just did not turn out pretty, and it made the students more uncomfortable with doing their assignment. So the first problem, and I'm going to go ahead and make this black, is 23. Fairly simple. You take this and then you shade. But, excuse me, I've got to scroll that down. We actually didn't quite do this. We knew that 23 would be right before 25, so it'd be right about there. I'm going to erase this line because I'm probably going to do the next problem. So it'd be about right there. It's probably off just a little bit, but not major. My objective is get you pretty close, but not exact. If you get exact, man, you're on top of it. I just would like you to get in the ballpark area. Okay? And then they just colored that in. So you could do this on your computer if you have Paint or anything like that. Okay? All right, so the next problem I have to go look at was 48%. Very similar to the previous problem. Very similar to the previous problem in the sense that it's right below 50%. And I just take my highlighter. Just going to use a different color. Kids can use the same color. I am not picky. That is minor. So this was 48%, so it's right there. Very, I feel like, a simple assignment. It's just to get them going for that next portion. Okay? Alright, so I'm pretty much done here. Have a great day. Again, do all 20 of them, and I'll see you soon.